Hello everyone, my name is Lethal. Um, I'm a French guy who's been playing Warframe for like close to 10 years, and so I wanted to start making content after TennoCon because like it made me realize how much that game like means for me, and therefore I thought that I would like do a small basic like build guide on Loki. Loki used to be my main when I started the game. Then I went to play Wukong and then Kullervo mostly. But like I really like that frame. Right now, I know that there are like some more interesting things to do than what I'm going to show you. Um, I'm going to stick to a very basic build that turns Loki into a weapon platform, which is kind of boring. I totally understand that, but yeah, I wanted to share my build basically. So in order to turn Loki into a weapon platform, I'm using Pillage. So you actually need 400 strength to make it full strip enemies. It's lower to 328 with my aura, which is corrosive protection, and I attained that because I have like a base rank of over 220. I use precision intensify since it's subsumed as my 4, and I use arcane crepuscular to like get the rest. So that turns Piage into a full strip, which is always nice. On top of that, because I'm max duration, max strength. Because of that, it stays on for a long time. So if I decide to like not quickly end it by recasting the ability, it has like over 100 meters of range, which is like basically the whole map. The rest of the abilities, I don't use them that much. Well, obviously, invisibility is like what I use the most because like it keeps me safe and I don't have to use any mode on survivability that way. Though I still have the ogre set to shield gate if needed, but that doesn't really comes up that much. And I kept decoy and teleport because as I said, I'm using precision intensify to full strip, so I have those two spells, and I have that spell that's a free slot. Therefore, I'm using it for safeguard switch, which is like okay utility. It sometimes comes up. It gives you invulnerability, so it can be used on like defense targets and stuff like that sometimes. But it's like just put whatever you want. You could go for like rolling guard if you wanted, or rolling guard isn't that useful since Piage already removes status effects, but it's up to personal preference. Maybe catalyzing shields, to be honest. I'm also using Arcane Energize for like energy purposes. Not needed in the slightest. You can just like use Equilibrium or whatever you like to keep up the energy since we are on low efficiency. But that's like the easiest for me, so that's what I'm using. I'm not using any shards. To demonstrate that build, like as I said, it's a weapon platform, so I'll be using like just random weapons that I like. So that would be the Collab Associist. I'm quickly showing the build, but it doesn't matter. The Compressor Prime, and lastly the Okina Prime, which I have a Raven for, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Same for the Companion. I'm using just like a support Cubro. Same, doesn't matter. Play whatever you like. Like the build just like works by itself, but you need like obviously good weapons to make it work. But yeah, so I'll show you what it does in like Steel Path. I'll go on Titan, just because Greener have armor, so that makes sense. But yeah, it's not going to be very interesting. But like, I just want to show you what it can do basically. Let's pop an energy pod. Invis. And no, we wait. Okay. So I can press Piège, eat full strips, and then yeah, I just go and murder enemies. If you're going for a full melee build, instead of using Piège, you can use Kullervo's Subsume, which is Wrathful Advance. That gives like massive amounts of crits. So for melee only builds, that's better. But as I said, that's not really needed. That's up to personal preference. And so yeah, I'm just like shredding through mobs. I have a lot of like critical multiplier thanks to Arcane, Crepuscular, and also my Cabro, and the modding obviously. And then like yeah, I mean I don't even need to strip enemies. That's because my weapons are too good, to be honest. Should maybe switch to something like a bit worse. But that's just to demonstrate how I play Loki nowadays. I'll go up to 5 minutes. Hopefully the Acolyte shows up and I can like just destroy it, and yeah. It's not going to be very interesting. Next time I'll be probably talking about a Warframe with a bit more depth to it. Maybe Protea, that I really enjoy using, but that's a bit too spammy for me to use it like in every kind of mission, even though it's very versatile. Yeah, also, speaking of Loki and stuff like that, as I said, it's a very basic and boring build. I'm just like using weapon, being invis, sometimes tripping and restoring my shields, and like just throwing through enemies. I've seen stuff like that's more spicy. I've seen build example that were using Mark for Death, and that were using the decoyment to basically do just huge blast, like doing insane amounts of overkill, and then forcing that to spread through entire roofs. I don't remember what the range was, but I think it was like 20 or 30 meters, so that's like a room clear. But I thought that it was like too clunky to really use. It's very fun, don't get me wrong on that, but I don't feel comfortable using it, and also, well, I didn't invent such a build, or even like cooked anything linked to that, so yeah, I'm not the best to talk about it. I'll let that to other Loki players. If you have any suggestions on how to try to play Loki, I would gladly take them. I've been trying to make a primer build work with like the sentinels getting most of your kills, and you just like being the support, using the decoy augment that spread status effects to do so. But it didn't feel good to use at all, so maybe it was a build issue, probably, to be honest, but it just like felt too weak, and like the mob kept on getting stunned and stuff, so the status weren't being spread quickly enough, which bothered me. I was mostly looking at that. I don't have that much other idea on how to make use of any subsume. Yeah, let's trip. Heavy attack. Oh, I missed. I suck. Yeah. Well, that was terrible, but oh well. It still died. Yeah. I'll be trying to think about like new element abilities to use on Loki to try to find like a good and like funnier build, because like that's boring. Yeah, I can turn invincible by doing so, but that sucks. I guess that does augment my movement speed though for like 12 seconds. That's something, I guess. But yeah, I'll maybe try to find a more control-oriented build, but like, why control when you can kill that easily? That's the issue that I usually have. Sometimes it makes sense in higher difficulties, but I don't usually play those or have that need come up. Maybe for EDA or ETA that could make sense, but I don't know, to be honest. That's a bit hard to find such a working build. But yeah, it's just how I play Loki when I do in 2025. It's just like using him as a weapon platform with a trip armor. Yeah, I shall actually have like a nice synergy with this kid, because like you don't need anything but duration, and you can like tank your other stats for strength, so you can like make like a huge PH, but like you could use roar for that, or yeah, restful advance, as I said, that would work as well. That just depends on your playstyle, but yeah, that's basically it. So thank you, everyone. Please feel free to comment, share ideas, or anything in the comment section, and I'll see you soon for another frame.